Gregory. Hot, yeah. Yeah, the hotness came back, but it's not humid. I think it's normal autumn hotness now, which is like, breathable, not so horrific. It feels actually good. People still come to cemetery during these days. It's I think last week was the equinox, so that's Buddhist holiday of Higan, but equinox I think is Shinto. It's a mix of different things. It's nice. Old phone, yeah, old iPhone, like really ancient one. Sorry. I could switch it to the highest quality, but then I have to pay. Oh, this is Nissan. The guy who invented Nissan. What's his name? Ayukawa something. I think it's his family's tomb. Datsun and Nissan. Looks quite interesting. The little stupa. This tree is interesting. Always say leaves. Really neat. No way, my gosh. This is gonna be something. I wonder if it's some weird religion or something. Look, even this lantern doesn't stand straight anymore. It's just, there's a crypt there and crypt there. And then he somehow ended up with Kren or radios inside the cars. Strange stuff. And I think Nissan has factories in Kanagawa prefecture. Then there are some Christians there. It's not like in Europe where everything is divided. Here it's all mixed. I mean, all people are mixed in Japan, you know? You don't have like poor people living apart from the rich, like in the United States, where you go and when you go into the wrong part of the town and it's too late. But you know, these big graves like that, it's gotta be some famous family, maybe prime minister or very wealthy, maybe like, you know, Mitsui, Sumitomo. I think those are like, well, they started like traders a long time ago, you know, like Middle Ages. They were just trading people. But today they are huge companies. Oh, this is nice. The whole family just, I wonder what do they do today. They still have to exist, but they are just corporations too, you know, like all their businesses are super big. Sometimes if you go work for one, you can do many things in one company. Like if you join Tokyu has trains. You can be the guy riding the trains, opening the doors. Then you can graduate. They have hotels. You can graduate with the manager of a hotel. They have a department stores. You can be in sales. There's so many things to do in one company like that. Or a bus driver. They have buses as well. These things are just so huge. And if you're lucky, you can go into management. You can be like the general manager of a hotel. Yeah, last prime minister. No. I think last prime minister is somewhere else, not in this cemetery. Look at these chestnuts. There's a whole tree with them. Yeah, I have to research where is the last prime minister. He's gotta be somewhere. It's just where. Maybe not Tokyo. Maybe somewhere else. I mean, here basically there's no space. They ran out of space long time ago. It's like maybe 100-year-old cemetery in Tokyo City, and as you know, Tokyo has no space. Yeah, he got assassinated by some guy who had a strange religion, taking money from his mother, and he blamed the prime minister for it. And then the government interrogated that religion. I think they decided to like take away its religious status. You know, if you're a religion, you don't pay taxes, but if you are not, you have to pay taxes a lot, because you're like a company then. If family would have a space, yeah, even, you know, if family has space, sometimes they decide to put the people somewhere else. Like singers, sometimes they end up having their own grave, or sometimes they move the whole family into another place. Like, when was it I scoped that singer? What was her name? Gosh, she had pretty nice songs. She got cancer and she tripped in the hospital and died. Slipped, hit her head and died. Gosh, so many chestnuts. I could like pick them up and make chestnut people. Look at this. Nice. You could grow maybe a tree from that. I like the European cemeteries. You can go like to Warsaw, Powązki Cemetery. All famous actors, people, you know, are there. Also very cool is like if you go to Krakow and you go to the Wawel Castle. Over there they have catacombs. You can go down and see all these old sarcophagi. It's really fun if you like history. And apparently in France, after the revolution, they destroyed all the graves of the you know, nobility, so nothing's left. Are you allowed to take chestnuts home? Yeah, I mean, technically probably no one's gonna stop you, but of course, you know, if you have a farm or you go to a farm, I don't know how much they charge per kilo, but you can buy from them and take them home and eat them. I did it once. It's fun. You end up with so many chestnuts. It's a lot of work to, you know, cook them and peel them and roast them, but later you can put them on the rice, They have very special taste, so I guess they go together well with rice. Look at that. That's a, what is that? Some Eastern Protestant cross. Ukraine, Russia. Basically, I think if it's a park, really you should not remove the nature, especially if it's a national park or something. But you know, no one's gonna give you a ticket. Would it bother you? Actually, you know, not really. I sometimes see people doing picnics in cemeteries. I think, you know, our cemeteries in Europe, we put the whole bodies in them, so it's kind of gross to do anything else because we think there's like a dead person in there. Here it's like, you know, they have ashes only, and they regard the cemeteries as parks sometimes. Like this cemetery is also listed as a park, and you know, people sometimes come and do that ohanami, appreciate the cherry blossoms. It's okay. Look at these lanterns. They've been carved out of a volcanic rock. Oh, tropical palm. Yeah, Orthodox Christians. Yeah, Orthodox. That's Eastern Europe, right? Like part of Poland, Ukraine. Are they allowed in Russia? Or they have their own Orthodox? Yeah. I saw it also in Canada. You know, Canada has lots of Ukrainians that emigrated there tons of years ago, and they have those. What's it called in Poland? Their churches are called cerkwias. Cerkwia. Not sure how is it in English. Edmonton Cemetery encouraged me. Edmonton. I've never been to a cemetery in Edmonton. Only the West Edmonton Mall, which is supposed to be the biggest mall in whole the world. Wonder if it's still like that. It's really huge. My gosh, it's enormous. You could build an airport in there. Well, we walked and we ended up at the other end of the cemetery. That's the exit. I've never done it. Now I better start walking back. Let's see what the view here is. People have houses. Narrow streets. Houses, some businesses. Do not throw out trash, it says here. Yeah, people in Japan have weird, different ideas of death. Like for example, around this time is a time where I think it's a Buddhist idea. When your ancestors come back to your home, they set up these strange lanterns, and they come back and you put up food for them, and then also your family comes back as well. Like, you know, everybody drives out of Tokyo to go home, and they spend some time, see their family, their ghostly grandparents probably. just a custom, I guess. But you know, some people don't do it, and some people have, like, they don't, basically most people don't believe any religion in Japan. Not like, you know, Christians in Europe. They're always Christians. Most just don't believe anything. They have some customs, you know, from previous, like, you know, long time ago, which maybe were religious, but now, you know, it's just customs. Wow, I love these bicycles. Everyone has a hybrid bicycle now. You can go so fast with so much little effort of pedaling on a battery, and you don't sweat. It's really, really nice. And I guess customarily they have weddings with in a shrine, which is Shinto religion, but also customarily they have funerals in a Buddhist temple. So it's a Buddhist religion. But nobody knows really, like, nobody follows this strictly, you know. But Buddhism doesn't discourage believing in other religions, and Shinto also. It's like, if you were a Christian, I don't think you could be Buddhist. Unless there's some branches with exceptions, I have no idea. Oh, it's a nice work on sculpting that bush. Wow, beautiful. You really have to choose special trees for this. Some kind of a juniper. Wow. Ota family. Plus there's a whole bunch of, you know, different branches of Buddhism. But there's only one branch of Shinto. The emperor is the head of that, technically, but I think after the war that's not supposed to be, technically. But you know, he's the descendant from the gods, like the Egyptian pharaoh, that kind of like a god, you know. Again, it's more of a philosophy. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's so many Buddhist branches, like it's all has split away, that, you know, every branch has different ideas, and it's so far away from the original Buddhism that came from outside of Japan now. Plus there are some new religions that use Buddhism and some other mixed in things. That's even more bizarre. It's just maybe lonely people joining them. Like, you know, reading of sutra. If you read, you know, sutra, which is still written in a transliterated form, because it came from China, right? So they had to transliterate it to Japanese. And the Chinese version has been transliterated from Sanskrit. So you can imagine, like, the Chinese doesn't make sense anymore. The Japanese doesn't make double sense anymore. But the meaning, you know, is there. And, you know, they keep on reciting that. But then maybe you have one branch of Buddhism that puts it on around cylinders and keeps spinning those cylinders. So it's like reciting them from the cylinders by spinning the cylinders. And you know, instead of reading it slowly, you have read it already 5,000 times faster. Maybe you can add 10 more of these cylinders and spin them at the same time, and you will have, quadruple effect. Yeah, dry. It's very dry. It's wet weather is very gone now. Now it's just walnuts, not walnuts. Yeah. These guys. Chestnuts. Crunchy leaves. Dry autumn. It's gonna be hot. Autumn is kind of hot, but the humidity has gone, so it's much more forgiving. Later it gets very, coolish completely. But this is the time to enjoy. Oh, Gentleman Ghost, you made it to the cemetery. Yeah, we passed. We went from one end of the cemetery to the other. Now I'm going back. It's quite nice weather. Non-humid, dry air, sunshine. Oh, taxi. He was taking a lunch break there. This is the only place where you can kind of semi-legally park your car without paying anything, because you cannot be told apart from people who go to the cemetery, like graves, and people who don't, and there are toilets, so it's double convenient. Here it says, beware of perverted people, gropers, that's what it said. You can be assaulted here. And then in the announcement that comes every hour, it says, beware of the purse thieves. Man, maybe it's been like that 40 years ago and no one has updated those things. The groping sign is more in like Kanagawa prefecture. You go somewhere and it's all there on the street. Beware of gropers. Some little path by the forest. Oh, they have cleared one grave space here, making space for more. Oh, what was here before? There was something big. Now I forgot. They took away my favorite pyramid, which was over there. This one is, oh yeah, under construction. Nothing left. This was big. Wow. Someone decided not to pay. Is it because very crowded? Does it become very crowded? Well, not really. I mean, you see, there's no one in the cemetery. Maybe if you have bad luck or something. But in general, it's so safe that I don't know why those signs are out there. Gropers, that sounds. I cannot see, it's so bright. That sounds serious. I wouldn't expect it. Yeah, Japan always had weird people. There's like old people watching anime with young girls. Then we have old people going to the young girls' concerts. There's nobody young there though. Then there's some groping people on the train sometimes, but now it's less because they put cameras everywhere. But it still happens. I guess cemetery is the last to go because there are no cameras here yet. Sometimes police comes here, but I don't think they have anything. They have an effect. except this road is straight, but you're supposed to drive 30 kilometers per hour only. And I see people speeding. It's like super straight. It's probably a kilometer or more. Groping spirits. Yeah, could be. Poltergeist. Some airplane is flying. Oh, Cessna. Did you walk around Tokyo streets a lot? Also, do you stick to parks when not scoping? I go by car mostly everywhere. Sometimes I go by train, but not very seldom. And I go on bicycle geocaching, so I end up on some streets where there's so many people. I need to pretend like I'm looking at my bicycle tire and try to, grab the geocaching container, because sometimes it's in a place where there's so many people. I'm not so comfortable doing, stealth ninja stuff, especially when there's sometimes policemen on the other side looking. That's hilarious. When I was younger, I went to, like Shibuya, Shinjuku, shopping here, shopping there. Yeah. Central Tokyo, there's nothing really there in central Tokyo. Like, there's no business for me to go there. I mean, I can get everything where I live, right? It's not like, maybe it's not like Europe where you can only get these things right there in the center of the city. You can get anything anywhere pretty much in Japan. But central Tokyo is, lots of people. Usually, office work, that kind of stuff. Some people just enjoy being there, but the cost of living is very high. You can only get small apartment unless you want to pay $50,000 a month for a house, which you can still get. Geocaching is illegal? No, I mean, geocaching is supposed to be quiet, right? Like, you should never tell anyone you're doing geocaching, because they will think, oh my god, it's a terrorist bomb or something, right? So that's why it's supposed to do. Some geocaches have, like, stealth. You gotta, pick it up in such way that no one can see you. You found it. Then you have to sign the log, and then you have to return it to the same place in another way so no one can see you. Oh, they're drilling something over there. Tokyo, central Tokyo is like not really central, because there is no really central Tokyo. It's all train stations. That's the central points in Tokyo. So maybe if you go to Yamanote line, it just drives around the central part, around the Imperial Palace, and each station is like a different downtown. So you have like Shinjuku, Shibuya, Shinagawa, those kind of hubs from Middle Ages, I guess. Some caches are hidden, like here, you don't need any stealth. But if there's a policeman looking, maybe come another time. You don't really wanna have anything to do with police. And here we are at the other end of the cemetery. I think this is the shortest width of it. Illegal parking. Semi-legal. There's a funeral place here with the crematorium. They're making money. Wow, people drive BMWs here. Some lady came to work, or maybe not, probably. Big business. I don't think you will have a problem being secret today. Yeah, depends where you are. I mean, when there's lots of people, no one looks at you either. But you need some kind of a stealth techniques, you know, like a pickpocket, or you just know where to grab and have the container in your hand. There are even geocaches in the airport. Now, those ones are tricky because they need to be set where there are blind spots of the cameras, so that the airport security doesn't remove them. The real end of the cemetery is the afterlife. Yeah, we've exited it. Now we're in the afterlife. Gosh, it's so bright. So bright. Look at these tiny streets. Look at this car coming out there. You can barely turn. And this is like this is a shared street for 2 cars, but also pedestrians, because you have these green areas. Here it's like a tennis court park, toilet and water. And here I think they made everyone sell their land. Like on the left here you can see there's still people having houses over there. But once the house is forbidden to rebuild, you know, they will build a new road like this with the right width. You know, this road goes to nothing. Maybe it will continue in that direction. There are pickpockets. You know, I'm sure they are, but I've never witnessed. I know that in Germany or Europe you can get pickpocketed so easily. Here somehow it's just, I think it's too much risk, especially when there are so many cameras around. Maybe that's why I didn't hear. But hey, stealth skill is needed for geocaching sometimes. This guy here, I think he's a stone maker for the graves in the cemetery. Look how weirdly this is designed. You have like houses, and over there is a train crossing. And there's a house like next to the train crossing. So everything in your house must be shaking. Of course, they improved the trains a lot since a long time ago. So they don't go, they don't pass very loudly. But gosh, you know, who would want to live? Well, this guy didn't even stop. That's a huge ticket from a police one. And look at this train. Oh, that I can see it over there, 2 kilometers away, at one station maybe. And here is a Buddhist temple. This guy makes a lot of money. He has GTR Nissan. Gosh, I cannot see anything. Oh, hi. Who's saying hi? Gamea. Anyway, I gotta get going, guys. Thanks for coming. Oh, lovely roses here. Yay. Thanks for coming, guys. So bye for now. We'll end with the rose. Scoping down.